guest in our midst. And finding out very interesting is that these two guests have a lot in common. Despite the fact that they find themselves in different professions.
Is the education part. Because our time we did not get that education. And I'm very, very happy and pleased with the initiative that Right to Dream have bring to us Ghanaians. So for me, on that note, I would say one thing that crossed my mind and then made me happy is the education part. Thank you.
Well, I'll probably echo some of what Lai said. The really wonderful facilities that Right to Dream has. I was very impressed with the robotics room and what they're doing there. I'm very impressed with the work they do with the Lego with the young kids. I thought that was really fantastic. I love I'm not sure what it's called, the Hall of Fame behind us with all the roster of the alumni from here. And I especially loved, beyond the green fields and the gym, I love the little quotes I saw on the walls because they were really inspirational and really fantastic.
Thank you very much. And one of the things, where if you look at, if you read the signage here, which talks about one of the purpose of education, and also one of the purpose of education for us at Right to Dream is that it's not just educating the child, but also in terms of it benefiting the community. Now, both of you served the nation one point in time in your life, and when you look at the national pledge, where it talks about I pledge to serve, to service, for the country. I would like to start with Mr. Kingston. Did you ever have a dream or a passion to one day serve the nation, with football or in football when you were growing up? Was that something that you desired at the beginning of your?
Yeah, sure. My dad what is helping Right to Dream Foundation. They have a very solid foundation. They try to get the boys very younger age and then try to educate them through the ranks so that when they grow, it becomes easier for them. National team is something that was on my mind that I have to, throughout my career, when I started, I wanted to be part of the national team. What motivated me most was when they started introducing youth World Cups. I remember in 1999 when Ghana went to the World Cup, under 70 World Cup, when they won the cup. I was sitting down watching the game, and then that motivated me that, no, one day I have to see myself there. So I took my time, went to the national under 15, then graduated to the national under 17, and then to the national under 20 Olympic team, and then the senior national team as well. I wasn't in a rush. I made sure I will go through the ranks. For me, I think that's the most amazing thing in my life.
Wow. Mr. Wachi, what about you?
So, my father worked for the government.
Wow.
And he was a senior civil servant when I was growing up. And he was fired by this idea of making the newly independent Ghana a success, working for Kwame Nkrumah and Kofi Bouzy at the time, so a long time ago. And so I always had the belief that public service was a good thing and a noble thing and something that I would do. I mean, we can serve in many, many ways, but clearly, helping your country in whatever capacity, whether you're playing football or you're working in government, are ways to do that. So, yes, I've always wanted to do some public service.
That will take me to my next question, which is also linked to it. Was it easy, playing for the national team for 8 years, and Mr. Wachi being 4 years, 7 months, serving the nation up there, was it easy? And what are some of the challenges you faced and lessons that you learned from that experience?
It's not easy at all. You know, in everything you do in life, you need, first of all, you need passion. When you're passionate with what you want to do, you have the passion for it, trust me, and work hard towards the goal that you have. Trust me, you'll get there. It wasn't easy. As we all know that Ghana is a football nation. You go every corner in the country, you find talented players on the streets. I had a lot of challenges in the national team because we have a lot of quality, good players in the team. At a point in time, Kane Osejan was invited to the national team, and I saw him on the field, and I was like, wow, who is this boy? And then they told me he's from Right to Dream. You know, I've known Right to Dream for a long time. I felt so happy. I was very proud of the boy and then the entire family of Right to Dream. In my time, that time, Ghana have never qualified to the World Cup. We've won 4 Nations Cups. We've played a lot of World Cup qualifiers, but we were not lucky. And before I joined the national team, we've had a lot of quality players, quality squad, better than our own. But to me, I think what helped us to achieve the qualify to the World Cup dream is what? Family. We seen ourselves as what? Family. You know, we have 1 or 2 quality players in the team, but we love ourselves. You know, and I always say football is like a team sport. You see? So definitely when you love someone, everything you have, you share with the person, right? And you have 1 ball and 22 players chasing the ball. So definitely when you love someone, you'll be able to what? Have the feel of passing the ball to him. So all these challenges and then positioning, competition, it wasn't easy. The coach spotted me as a playmaker, which Tom Vernon will know me as, you know that I'm a playmaker. I create chances. I always try to go on the ball. But the national team coach then, Doya, saw me and then he saw me as playmaker. So when I first joined the national team, he wanted someone to play on the right. And that time we have Sule Mutari in the middle, Stephen Appiah in the middle, Michael Essien in the middle. We have Yakubu Abubakar, one of the finest holding midfielders in Ghana that time. He's passed, may his soul rest in peace. And then I remember I was playing in Russia then. I was late to the camp, and then he called me and he said, Kingston, we've had 2 friendly games before you came. My problem is, I know it's not your favorite position. My problem is the right midfield. Then I looked at him and I told him, okay, put me there. In our first game against Congo, that time we were 5th on the table, and we have to play Congo, and it's a very hard grounds to go, very tough place. And we went there and then had a draw, but we had a very good game, and that draw helped us to get to the top. So for me, I think these are one of the challenges, and then a little experience that throughout my career I want to share with everyone around.
Wow, thank you.
Welcome.
Wow. Mr. Wachi, challenges and
So
lessons.
what Coach Isaac is referring to was I was the chief executive of the Volta River Authority for close to 5 years. And VRA, as some of you know, produces, at the time, most of the electricity in the country and has a big dam just up the street here. There's 1 dam here and 1 dam up there. And interestingly, when I was a young person, I was fascinated by this idea that electricity could transform a country, and give you light, help you with your education, give you light, give you health, really transform your life. And that actually led me into that industry. And when you work for the government, you're basically trying to manage how a country provides electricity to transform the society. Clearly, we've been on a path. I mean, I'm happy to say that I left VRA at the end of 2013, so that was just at the beginning of some of the challenges we had. But it was a really exciting opportunity to be part of something very meaningful. And, you know, I think all of us want to be part of something meaningful. and that was what was special for me. You have to work hard, and things about the team. You need passion for what you do to be successful, but you felt it was meaningful.
I think you should put our hands together.
Past, what will you change and why?
That's a good question. Sure.
Yeah, very tough question.
Yeah.
Because in everyone's life, when you go into the top, there are a lot of obstacles. So I can't say one thing. I can't point on one thing. As I said earlier on, that where I grew up is very tough. I had, in a certain point, I have to change my mentality, because in the community that I grew up, we have a lot of boxers in the community, which went high to become world champions. Azuma Nelson, Joshua Clottey, and all those people. So as I was growing up, I saw most of my friends going to the boxing gym and then try to throw their hands. See, but I had passion for football, and then I chose it. One thing I would like to, trust me, I don't have.
Yeah, it's difficult.
I went to school, but
Yeah.
I have, our time. That's why I said you guys are lucky. You have a nice classroom. You have people looking after you.
Yeah.
My time, I don't get it.
Yeah.
My mom stays in Jamestown. My dad stays in Teshi. So, so I will go out and then play football till the next day. Sometimes in classroom, my team masters will come and stand on the windows and then try to sneak me out to go and play football for them. See? So, but with all those things, it doesn't put me down. I try to learn, get to the secondary level before I was called to the national under 15.
Yeah.
So when I got to the national under 15, I have to take decision, football or education. Then I made a very difficult decision by choosing football. So I was lucky to at least make it in my football career.
Yeah, thank you. I saw another hand here.
Because you go to some games that even the opponent coach will pick on you, will tell the player, this guy is quick-tempered, so try to frustrate him. You see, so it's in my career, I've experienced a lot of situations like that, and that did not go well with me at all. If most journalists here can remember, in 2006 Nations Cup, in Egypt, there was misunderstanding on the pitch. It's not my problem, but as a team player, I wanted to go in and help my teammate Stephen Appiah, and I got into trouble. You see, if I would have stayed back and then be a little bit smart, I would have got into that situation. So, and also when you are playing football and you get hungry, you get confused. You can't think straight. You start making mistakes, a lot of mistakes, and you won't help your team. So from my experience, I think anger is something that you shouldn't do at all in a game of football. Not only football, in offices, in other businesses, it's not important. Try to be focused. We have people that will come your way, try to push you to see the negative side of you. Try to control it. If I have something that I can change in my career, that's the key thing that I will change. I would like to be more composed anyhow, any situation that I see myself in. Thank you.
Thank you. I think.
At the moment, we have a group called PFAG, that's a Professional Football Association for Ghana. And most of them are former players that have played football to the highest level, and even the current players that are playing. Once in a while, we try to bring everyone together and then have a football gala at East Legon, and then try to engage with young ones coming. And then also, most of the Premier League clubs, we try to go there and then share the experiences that we've gone through. So with that, I think it's a good question. If you've done, I have a second division team. All the time, every team talk that I do with them, I always try to share the experience that I had to them so that they will not do that mistakes again. In terms of managing your finances, most of the times, most of my colleagues, they finish their career, the money stopped coming, and then they did not manage their money well. Within the shortest time, you see them struggling. So these are some of the most important things that I tell my players, that whenever you achieve something in football or any other thing, you should try to what? Invest well, and then find someone to manage your investment, which is very, very important. So thank you very much for that question.
Great. In ending,
I would say the environment I grew up in, which is Jamestown, Bukom.
wow.
And, you know, before my time, there have been a lot of fantastic players in Bukom. So when I started coming up, started playing the coach level, I was called to the National Under 15. Most of the old guys in the area, whenever they meet me, they always tell me, Kingston, you have to leave this area before you can make it. And they'll give me examples of other former players that they've played football, but they couldn't make it. I'll listen to them and then tell myself, no, I'm not those people. I have a goal and I'm working towards that. So for me, I would say environment is something that motivated me to achieve my own.
Wow.
I told some of the boys that I wish I'm younger I'm young like them.
Yeah.
You know, and they asked me, why? You've done everything in football. I said, no, that's not what. In my time, if I get that opportunity, that without football, you can pursue a different dream, I'll be very happy. And maybe I will do more than what I did in my playing career. I have so many examples. I grew up with a lot of friends, play football with friends that are even better than me. They couldn't make it to the top, and now their lives is very difficult for them now because they did not make it, and they don't have educational background. It's very, very tough for them. So for me, I think you guys are very, very lucky, and then try to make good use of it. Thank you.
Wow. Or you leave today, what would that be?
What I would say to you all here is that you have a wonderful opportunity here, a fantastic opportunity to get a really good education and to also mold your life skills and habits and thinking through sports. And not a lot of people, or a lot of people don't get that opportunity. And you should really seize it with both hands. You should work hard. You should hopefully love what you do. It would be a real shame if 5-10 years from now you are not doing very well at whatever it is you want to do, and it doesn't have to be sports. You have a wonderful opportunity here.
Thank you. Mr. Lai. Mr. Lai, what would yours be?
Yeah, it will be the same. You know, it's a great opportunity for all of you. You know, I believe the project goes for everything, whether you make it in football or education. If not football, it's education, which I know. I've been reading a lot about Right to Dream, and I know Right to Dream has done a lot for Ghanaian people and then Africa as well. At the moment, we have a lot of professional players through the project. We have a lot of students in the UK and then in America as well, which they are doing very well. Education, and then some of them break into the MLS and doing well as well. So it's a very big opportunity for all of you. So please make good use of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we should put your hands together for them. I think today's show, how many of you have enjoyed the show? You learned a lot from it. Great. just listening to your last remarks, one thing that is very evident is the testament of the power of sport and education. You could see how both of them talked about each area and seeing the importance of it and how we should all balance it. And I think that, just as they said, there's great power in sports and education, but that power can only be realized if we take hold of it, if we decide to use it, if we decide to put our mind to it and apply character traits like what Right to Dream is developing, hard work, passion, social intelligence. And just as Mr. Awachi said, if in the next 5 years, the students and the young people sitting here, if in the next 5 years you are not doing well in whatever area that you put yourself to do, then it's up to you. It's you, not anybody else. So I want to thank our two guests today. Please put our hands together for them again. And thank you very much for coming on today's show. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.